Pull the lever, Mock. Pull it.
Do I need to hold up my raccoon sign?
Quit telling her what to do, you guys. Make sure that you're going to our website, chicksontheright.com, and then also check out our link tree, chicksontheright.com/links. That's where you can find all of our things social. And you should be checking those out because I do our Instagram, Mock does our Twitter, and then we just sort of like do all the other things. So Facebook, all of those things. And that's where you can find our podcast. Everything is out there, chicksontheright.com/links. So do that.
Yes. In fact, that's funny that you were saying like our assignments of you on Instagram and me on Twitter. Because Sunday, I tweeted out because I was just aggravated. I made chili on Sunday afternoon, and you get you have to get cans of beans and all this. Everything comes in a can. Like the chili comes in a can, the beans come in a can, all that stuff. And I was so irritated because I'm thinking it is 2024. How do cans not all have the flip tops? Like in 2024, why do I have to still get a can opener out of my cupboard? You know what I mean?
That's very inconvenient, you guys.
Well, and it just seems ridiculous to me that that's not something that is an automatic on all cans. And so I posted that on Twitter, and someone was like, I don't know I don't know if this is Daisy or Mock saying this because I can see it coming out of both of you. I was like,
it's true. We both would be irritated. Yeah. Although I think in Texas, and what is it? The rules that we don't put beans in our chili. So
you don't?
Yeah. Isn't that the Texas thing, you guys, that you don't put, because listen, I'm only like 3 years in Texas, but I eat beans in Texas. I mean, I'm sorry. I eat beans and chili in Texas. So, I mean, I'm an Indiana born girl.
People are saying that's not how to make chili.
I'll eat chili either way.
I didn't make chili right. I will have you know it was delicious chili.
I know people are saying beans are heresy. This is the thing. You
really?
can't in Texas, you can't put beans. That's why I knew that automatically. Like this is how they should have known that it was you and not me.
Oh
because
my gosh.
if you make true Texas chili, you're not supposed to put beans in it. This is the thing.
Wow. I love beans and chili. I use kidney beans and black beans and I love them.
Right. My husband he's Indiana born. And so he will still put beans in the chili. But like if we have Texans over to our house, like we will get kicked out of the state if we put beans in there. So you have to do it on the down low. You know what I mean?
I did not know that.
It's a long debate. It's a big deal here. Just saying.
Wow. So who knew that we would be causing controversy this early in the morning over chili?
Everybody start fighting in the comments. Here we go.
I mean, they are. There's so much disagreement. They're not fighting, but there's a lot of disagreement.
Beans or no beans.
Yeah.
Right. Beans or no beans.
I'm a beans and chili kind of girl.
And then there are people who put like spaghetti with you know what I mean? I know. Like that.
I will never eat Skyline chili because Skyline chili uses chocolate.
No.
That is a line crossed. Okay.
What?
No way.
You put sugar in there? What are you doing?
Chocolate.
I know.
Chocolate.
No.
Yeah. And so if you eat at Skyline, you should just know that they have chocolate in their chili. So
stop. I can't. And then the noodles and the chili, like the noodle thing. I can't. I'm out with the noodles.
Yeah, that's no. Some things do not go together. Some things are very good separately.
Cowboys did not do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No noodles.
No. Yeah, Steph, chocolate and chili. I'm not making this up. You can look it up.
No,
but it's gross, and I will never go there.
No.
So anyway, was not expecting to talk about chili for this long this morning, but this is what happens.
We bring you the news, you guys. We bring you
the news,
the important things.
Right. And we were so talking about chili that I forgot to start our stream on Instagram. So I'm sorry, Instagrammers, but
I totally missed out on the chili combo.
Now they're on there. Okay, good. All right. Lots to get to today, but lots of fun stuff to get to. So it's not quite as heavy of a news day as it's been, with the exception of the information we're going to be bringing you about the border, because there's some border stuff that we're going to have to get into. But once we get over that hurdle, I feel like the rest of the show is going to be just super fun.
I love that. I'm so excited about that. Yeah. Yep.
I'm super excited about it too, because we need a fun show. We've had a lot of difficult news days, and I feel like we are due.
Yeah, we've earned this.
Easy news.
We've earned a good day, you guys.
Yeah, for real. And I think everybody in our audience has earned a chance to get themselves a Reencle, their very own Seymour composter in their home. So Reencle, REENCLE.co. is the website that you want to visit if you are interested in not having to throw away your trash constantly because it stinks because of all the leftover like food waste that you're putting in your garbage can. If you're interested in actually being sort of self-sustaining when it comes to maybe you already have a garden, or maybe you just want to be able to take care of your indoor plants with your own compost and not have to buy the expensive stuff at your Lowe's or your Home Depot or whatever, Reencle can help you do that. Reencle.co. Let me just tell you that an insider from this very audience got one, and she has already sent me a testimonial, and I would like to read it to you if I may.
Do it.
So she says, "Hi, girlfriend. I wanted to drop you a quick line about my Reencle, now dubbed Charlie." So ours are called Seymour. Hers is Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
You can name it whatever you want.
I love it. Yes.
She said, "So easy to set up. And the next day I started feeding it. It's so quiet. I had to check that it was actually working, but my organic waste just disappears. So it definitely is. Two real positives. Number one, our kitchen trash no longer needs to be emptied just because it stinks. And number two, I can recycle the dead leaves from my house plants in Charlie too. I cannot wait. Yeah. I cannot wait until we have enough compost to start fertilizing our plants. I am loving it."
I didn't even think about the dead leaves thing.
I know, cool. Right?
Yeah. I have to watch my dogs because they now see me putting stuff in Seymour, and it's automatic when you put your hand over, the little, it's like one of those automatic trash cans, right? And so, Coda will walk up with his head and try to open it so we can get dead things out of there. This is what he does. So I have to watch.
Oh my God. Don't let him eat it because it's not, that is not.
I know. He can't listen, he can't fit his gigantic head in there anyway.
That's true. You guys, it's only like small waste basket size. It's itty bitty. Right. And so, and quiet and I'm just in love with ours. Yeah. Check it out. Use code CHICKS to get yourself a discount and free shipping at Reencle.co. REENCLE.co. Promo code.
Got a great name there, Mock. Great name there, Kimber Mock.
You will soon see why I have the name Kimber Mock Guilfoyle today. You will see a lot of the reason for that. We'll get to that in just a bit. First, a couple headlines to get through quickly. And there are rumors that at the next State of the Union address, which I think is happening in March, that Biden is planning for that State of the Union address to be a reset moment for his campaign. Rumors are, and this is according to Axios and others, that he is going to actually take executive actions, do some executive orders to fix the situation at the border within like a week or two ahead of the State of the Union so that he can say, see, look at all the things I've done to fix the problem, where Republicans sat back and did nothing, at which point anyone with a normal brain will be like, why didn't you do that on the first day?
Exactly.
Of your presidency.
Why did you reverse everything that Trump did? And then also, by the way, there are already 10 million illegals in the country running amok. It's like, what are you going to do about
running amok?
I totally did say running amok. And what are you going to do about those people? What are you going to do about those people who are already here because of you?
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Nothing. He's going to do nothing. He's going to go eat ice cream and crap his pants. That's what he's going to do.
The problem is that there are going to be people, as you know, who will lap this right up and say, see, he's totally fixing things.
Oh my God.
It makes me insane.
It's like, seriously, it's like spilling something and being like, oh, look at me. I'm cleaning up a mess. Look at me. I'm a hero because I'm cleaning it. You caused the mess.
Right. Exactly.
Oh my God.
Exactly. I don't know how. So anyway, we'll see if that's like some grand reset moment. I guess about 5 days later, after the State of the Union, one of the GOP House committees is planning on conducting a hearing with special counsel Robert Hur about Joe Biden's mental decline. So we'll see if that steals the thunder of the big reset of Joe Biden's campaign or not. But that's happening within 5 days of the State of the Union address. So that's interesting happenings too. Another interesting thing that is happening at noon today is that Nikki Haley is going to be hosting a State of the Race address in South Carolina, which of course,
what is that?
is hosting a primary next Tuesday. I don't know. That's the big question.
We've never had one. Yeah.
Right. Well, she's been so adamant about staying in, even if she loses her home state. So, I mean, like as recently as the day before yesterday, she was on all the talk shows saying, I'm staying in, I'm staying in, I'm staying in. But now all of a sudden the team yesterday has announced that there's going to be a state of the race announcement. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to see her getting out, but like maybe she's getting out. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I feel like at this point she just needs to go. Especially with all the stuff happening with the trials. You know, I feel like he's gaining so much more momentum at this point because people are like, "Oh, hell nah," with all the things that are happening. That I mean, I honestly, I just forgot completely that she was running, and I can't be alone in that. You know,
and she's like 20 points behind.
Yeah, I cannot be the only one that did. So, yeah. A dog just walked.
We have a visitor.
He just walked into my office. I'm gonna have to get him out of here in just a
second.
But
look how calmly he did it.
Yeah, well,
he did not bound in.
He didn't. Theo's on the floor. He's laying on the ground next to me. Theo is, and so I'll have to.
So
I'll get him out of here in just a minute. But continue.
But no, he's been fine. He's been so good. He just very politely walking around
until he's
not being destructive, laying down.
He's laying
like
down.
A good boy.
A good boy for right now until he starts becoming a complete and utter lunatic.
Okay, we'll just don't mention his name.
I won't.
And
I won't make nobody make eye contact. Nobody. Okay.
Also, just an interesting final side note before we get into this illegal immigration business. Remember how the Biden-Harris campaign team started a TikTok, an official TikTok?
Yes.
It has not gone well. So they have only managed to gain 165,000 followers, which is not a lot if you think about the audience.
Who they are. Right.
Exactly. And now like all of the pro-Hamas side of TikTok has found that account.
Oh my God.
So if you go to it and you look at any of the videos that they've posted, the comments are just filled with people who are either saying Trump 2024 or they're saying all this pro-Hamas stuff. So they are not getting any love from people who are seeing their videos.
Yeah.
At all.
I feel like the same thing happens on Instagram. If you go to Instagram, because I handle our Instagram, it's the same. Like the White House account there, it's just pummeled in the like they get completely destroyed in the comments every time that they post something. And I'm like, who likes these people?
Wow.
Like, there's nobody that likes this White House. I mean, that's the thing when Darren's saying 81 million, right? Yeah, I don't believe it either. I don't, because as evidenced by comment sections of any social media platform, just go there and look and you're like, who are the people that voted for these jackholes? Raise your hand, because there's like 3 people. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not going well.
It's not
so
good.
Who knows if they'll hang on to the account, if they'll keep doing it. Maybe they'll shut off comments. I don't know what they're going to do, but I don't think it's doing what they thought it was going to do.
No.
Maybe the big reset with his State of the Union will help, but yikes,
Yeah.
I doubt it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's get into some videos. Bill Malhusian with the fabulous hair was reporting a lot from the California southern border about some new methods of entry that illegals are taking into the country, namely this mountain that you're going to see lots and lots of people trekking over and then down to get into the United States.
There's literally like an ant trail of illegal immigrants coming down this valley, this crevice in this mountain right now, walking down and coming down to the bottom here, waiting to be apprehended by Border Patrol. This to the very top of this mountain. They were all from Kazakhstan. Okay, we have a big group of Chinese migrants behind us watching and filming this. I can't even tell how many it is. Many dozens, maybe over 100 in total or so. Right behind us, we have this camp of migrants from all around the world, Africans, Chinese, men from Turkey that are watching these migrants come down. What's on the other side of that mountain is Mexico. There's no border border wall way up there on that cliff. So at some point, these migrants that you see coming down the mountain, they climb that mountain on the Mexican side. Now that they are over the top, they are officially in the United States, and they're snaking their way down the mountain here to this Border Patrol processing area. Literally just 2 Border Patrol agents on hand here to take all of these migrants into custody. Agents continue to be completely outmanned out here. Just seems to be a never-ending line right now.
Hawks with lasers. We just need something.
And mountain lions. Mountain lions
right.
and rattlesnakes.
I mean,
and hawks with lasers.
I was going to say the American eagle with lasers.
Yes.
Just like fly. America. Heck yeah. Just flying in. I cannot. With like a cape on the back, flying. I'm so tired of this crap. I'm just so tired of it. I have no sympathy. Zero.
And the worst part is that California and Arizona are led by morons. And so those states will not do anything to protect their own borders. Right. Unlike Texas, which is actually kind of nipped the problem in the bud for the most part, because they actually do protect their borders now to the extent that the Biden administration has allowed them to, but not so in California. So now this is the new pathway that all these people from Kazakhstan and China are getting into our country. I'm sure that they mean no harm whatsoever, though. I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure these are the best and the brightest. These are all doctors and inventors and lawyers and such. Yeah, all the best and the brightest. Totally.
And they all super love America. That's why they're here, right? They love America.
So excited to be here and innovate.
Maybe we should have them join the military. That's what some folks are floating around, like this particular representative, and he explains why in this news report.
The new proposal in Washington that would help migrants get an expedited path to citizenship. It would require them to first serve in the U.S. military.
All right, Fox 5's Morgan McKay joins us with details of the bill, which lawmakers say could help solve 2 problems at once.
There is no higher honor than serving your country in uniform.
And that honor could be extended to migrants under a new bill introduced by Hudson Valley Congressman Pat Ryan. Called the Courage to Serve Act, this bill would offer qualified and vetted migrants an expedited path to citizenship if they serve in the military. According to Ryan, last year the military services collectively missed recruiting goals by roughly 41,000 recruits, leaving some crucial positions unfilled.
If there are folks with the courage to raise their right hand, take an oath to protect and defend our Constitution, and put their lives on the line for this country, then they sure as hell deserve the opportunity to be citizens in the United States of America.
No, Pat. No. We just played a clip last week about this. This is precisely what the Democrats want to do. They want to have the people who hate this country go into the military, because then when they when martial law happens, it's like, what? These are going to be the people who are going to be so willing and eager to beat up actual citizens, to strong arm the people who are actual citizens. It's going to be easier for them to do that than it would be for citizens to do it against citizens. I mean, this is just like textbook crap.
Yeah. And then when you couple that with the fact that like with our conversation with Matt Lohmeyer last week, when we talked about the fact that so many of the best in the military were forced out for reasons like Matt was, or for reasons that had to do with the vaccine or mandates. Those were the people who actually think for themselves, who think critically, and who have courage and integrity. Those are the people they kicked out.
Yeah.
And so now they're going to introduce people from friggin' China and Kazakhstan. Oh my God, this is a recipe for disaster.
It's an absolute recipe for disaster. But this is what the Democrats want. This is what they want, and it's not okay. So Pat Ryan, no, you can suck it.
Yeah, you can suck it. And then speaking of that clip that you just mentioned that we played last week of Bret Weinstein on Tucker Carlson, we need to show another clip from that same interview. I watched the whole thing finally yesterday. I've been meaning to, and I finally did it yesterday. And when he talks about the reason that we don't allow like if you want to have refugee or asylum seeker status in this country, you have to be fleeing political or persecution. You can't just be like, I want a better life for my family. I'm sorry, but that's not a reason that you get to be a refugee or an asylee. And so, and that's always been the case. It's not that we're not a compassionate country. It's that we can't let everybody in, right? I mean, it's just not possible. And so Bret Weinstein talked about that, and specifically talked about what he saw in the Darien Gap in terms of who is orchestrating this invasion. Here he is.
These migrants, I have to tell you, when they come to the southern border of the U.S., they get through on the basis that they are political refugees. They aren't. When we talk to them in the transit camp, everybody tells the same story. They are fleeing economic collapse, and they are fleeing in the direction of what they perceive to be economic opportunity. And of course, in American law, these two things are very different. We protect people who are seeking political asylum, but we do not offer automatic economic asylum. And the reason for that is fairly clear, which is that in order to protect people economically, we end up robbing Americans of their economic well-being. And that's just not something that people are entitled to, no matter how much compassion you may have for people fleeing Venezuela. It is not our responsibility, especially not without some sort of a plan, an agreement about how many people are going to come through and in what way we're going to take care of them and how that's going to get paid for. We don't do that. But in any case, you get the same story from everybody. They're fleeing an economic crisis, and they're moving north, and many of them have terrible stories about what happened to them in the Darien Gap. So that's one thing. And you see, when you go into this Camp Canam Brio, you see the hallmark of the international community. You see NGO emblems all over the place, proudly American flags. They've paid for the water system, the toilets that are there. The United States government is facilitating this economic migration, and it's unmistakable, as is an organization called the IOM, which is the International Organization for Migration. It's a branch of the UN. And if you read their charter, you will discover that this organization believes that migration is an inherently good thing, that it's always good. And so they see it as their job to bring it about, to facilitate it.
The United States government is not funding it. We are funding it.
Yeah.
I hate it when people say that. The government is funding it. No, the government doesn't fund crap. We fund it. You fund it, and I fund it. That's who's funding it.
And to your point, exactly right. You want to know what it costs? I mean, because I know, it's in the abstract, we all know that it costs millions and billions of dollars of our money to deal with this surge, with this invasion. But when you start to think about it from just a daily perspective, what does it cost to feed one person, for example? Here's what's going on in Boston.
Hotels are collecting money from the state for 3 meals a day, $16 for breakfast, $17 for lunch, and $31 for dinner. That means $64 a day per person. The state's right to shelter law requires it provide families with refrigeration and basic cooking facilities. But some of the accommodations do not have those appliances, leaving the state to contract out for food and delivery. Citing the emergency nature of the crisis, the state gave Spinelli Ravioli Manufacturing Company in East Boston a $10 million 6-month no-bid contract.
Oh my God. It's a contract. I don't even spend that much on food for myself.
I know. $16 for breakfast every day?
Yeah, for breakfast, 16.
Even if I go to
for dinner.
Starbucks, it doesn't cost me that.
Exactly.
And that's expensive.
31 for dinner? What are you eating? Oh my God.
They're eating well, I can tell you that.
Yeah. And then
that's insane.
And then what about American citizens who are hungry? Yeah, I know. They're there, Daisy. They're there. You just dumb Republican woman. And this is the thing.
Why are you worried about that?
I know. And then people will say that right wing doesn't care about the homeless. What?
Oh my God.
I kind of do. I actually like to feed them first.
Right.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
So I guess it goes without saying that the world is a complete crap show. And because of that, you should be thinking about your own preparedness for your own financial strength in retirement and right now. And so and I wanted to just list off the things that the world is dealing with right now from a financial perspective from our friends at Birch Gold, who said we've got elections in Taiwan, North Korea on the brink, Iran increasing its aggression, tons of global instability. That goes past and beyond what's happening in the Middle East and with Israel. And we're about to get ourselves plunged right in the middle of primary and general election season. So this is as good a time as any, and probably the best time ever, to consider whether or not you have appropriately sheltered your money and savings for retirement in the best way possible. One of the ways that you can do that is to think about investing at least part of your total balance sheet in gold or precious metals. And if that's something that you've thought about doing, but you've not ever really known how to do it, there is no one better to explain it than our friends at Birch Gold. Birchgold.com/chicks. They've got a brand new website landing page just for our people, and it's birchgold.com/chicks. Go there and you can get your free gold information kit. Plus, you can find all kinds of really good information on the website anyway. But start there. Request your free gold info kit. There's no obligation whatsoever, but at least get yourself educated about what good it can do your financial portfolio. Birchgold.com/
Somebody just made a good point. I'm sorry, I did not see your name. It just went so fast. But they said school kids, if they don't have money, like a public school kid, if they don't have money, they don't get anything. Or they get a peanut butter sandwich.
Peanut butter sandwich and some water.
Right. But these people are getting 16 for breakfast and then 31 for dinner. And then I don't remember what the lunch cost was, but it was a hell of a lot more. Yeah. Well, that's a hell of a lot more than a peanut butter sandwich or nothing.
Exactly.
So how is that okay?
That is a great point, because I know that
point. Yeah.
And I know that happened to us once in elementary school because I didn't have notifications set.
Happened to me too. Yep.
Yeah. And it's mortifying because then your kid comes home and they're like, all I got was peanut butter, and it felt so terrible.
You feel terrible.
But to your point, even now in high school, as a student athlete and a boy who, they eat
a
so
lot.
much.
Right.
I mean, if my kid spends over $10 for lunch, it's a crazy day, right? It's a crazy, crazy lunch day. And we're just handing $17 per person to people who have no business being here in the first place.
Yeah. And
that's not okay.
And you pay your taxes. I pay my taxes. If my kid forgets her lunch money, or if she's low on her lunch money for one day, she should get more than a peanut butter sandwich. You know
exactly.
what I mean? And especially if illegals are getting $17 worth of food and $31 for dinner and $16 for breakfast every day. It's asinine. It's not okay. This is outrageous.
And I think it was Elon who had actually posted in response to somebody the other day on Twitter. He was saying, and a lot of people don't even realize that illegals can get mortgages, they can get car loans, they can do all of these things without the responsibility that we citizens have of paying taxes, of serving on jury duties, for example. So all the things that we think of as being benefits of citizenship, they get, including in-state tuition. That's another one.
And don't even get me started on the healthcare thing, because I have a friend who works. She's in insurance. And we had a whole discussion about this last weekend. She's one of the swim moms, and she was talking to me about just insurance in general. It's so arbitrary, health insurance. Like when you get a bill for something that, if you say you have a surgery, or if you're in a car accident and you have to be rushed into surgery, if an illegal has the same car accident and is rushed into surgery, their bill is going to be completely different than your bill if you have health insurance and they don't. And there's a reason for that. There's an absolute. It's not okay the way things happen in this country when it comes to insurance. It's going to be exponentially lower, or it will be nothing because they're illegal. But you got to pay.
Yeah.
So why is that? And that makes everybody's rates higher.
Right.
You know?
And so all of those things, the healthcare, the in-state tuition, the mortgages, the being able to do all of the things that we take for granted as citizens of the United States makes people wonder, what is the point of being a citizen?
Right.
What is the point for all these illegals to come in here and want citizenship when they already get everything handed to them?
Exactly.
This is not sustainable.
What's the point of paying my taxes? What's the point of paying Social Security when I'm probably not going to get it one day? But these jackholes coming across the border and just busting in here and breaking into my country are getting just as much as my elderly mother, if not more. And she's paid into the system since she was 14 years old.
Yeah.
That's not okay. She's 80 and she's probably not going to get as much as an illegal. How is that okay?
Yeah.
How is that fair?
It's maddening. It's totally maddening. Stuart the Brit, thank you. Stuart says, last week we had 2 local elections. Conservatives were wiped out. Communists and Islamists got in. The voters stayed at home just to prove mock fears, right? Oh my God. Yeah, that's bad. That's really, really bad. I hate to hear that. Oh my God. And Julie Wolf, thank you. Julie says, I do not understand. They are reporting it on every day, and we just keep watching the invasion. What can we do? Well, and it makes me wonder too, why some of the chattier Republican congressmen who love to see themselves on television, who love to be on the camera, aren't asking these questions. Why aren't they at the Darien Gap screaming, hey, NGOs, hey, U.S. government installations, WTF are you doing here? Where is this funding coming from? Who authorized this? Why is this happening?
Yeah.
They just like to make all of these sound bites, right? But they're not actually doing
anything. No, I totally agree. You hit it on the head when you say, like, where's this money? Follow the money. Follow the money.
And ask about it. Like somebody is authorizing this. And it's oh my God, it's infuriating. Yep. Anyway, all right. So that was like the bad news, right? So now we can get to some more fun things to talk about, right?
Right.
So for example, Fani. We have talked a lot about the fact that this country often rewards terrible behavior. This has been a common theme. We have talked about this ever since Cash Me Outside girl became a gajillionaire.
Cash Me Outside. How about that?
Right. I mean, she's sort of the poster child for rewarding terrible behavior.
Yeah.
But remember how rich and famous, more famous, Charlie Sheen got when he got really insane? Yeah. It's that kind of stuff. Our country is famous for doing that.
Look at the Kardashians. They're rich and famous because of a sex tape.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
And the mom is the one who put it. The mother is the one who put it out there.
Right.
And they won't go away.
I don't know what our problem is as a country, why we do this from a cultural standpoint, but we do. There's no question about it. And Fani apparently now is the new beneficiary of all of the positive attention. She's just now received a Black History Month award from some church. And so she went to the pulpit to give her thanks for this huge honor. And here is what she said in part.
This is a really hard job I'm trying to do. And I am an imperfect human being, but I can literally feel the people who loves me's prayers. If just every now and again you'll throw my name in a prayer, God hears his children. I would very much appreciate that. So I thank you for this honor today, because it is an honor worth having when it comes from a group of people such as the people that worship here. So thank you.
They're honoring her.
Yeah,
imagine.
Of course. I mean, this is what happens, right? Is her dress on? Is her dress on right? Is it?
You know what? Some folks found that dress on Amazon, and it is billed as a front zip dress.
Is it?
So
okay. So that was on right.
I guess that her dress was on right, but why a front zip dress has even been created? That's the big question. Right. Why? Why would somebody do that?
And if it does zip in the front, you should maybe unzip it a little bit. So it's like you know what I mean? You show that you're supposed to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Now, I know everybody's very anxious to see what's going to be the fallout of her testimony, of her boyfriend's testimony, of the whole Trump case as a result of all of their shenanigans. Right. But as Trey Gowdy pointed out on a news show yesterday, we all need to be careful of what we wish for.
I mean, they are flawed characters prosecuting this case. So even if they were successful, there would be an asterisk by it. Go find two prosecutors who aren't dating one another in Georgia. It should not be that tough. Go find two. Here's the downside to what President Trump is trying to do. I would love it for these two folks to prosecute me, because from what I saw, neither one of them are very good.
And that's a good point. If they replace them with more effective prosecutors, that would actually be very bad for Trump's case.
It probably could be. Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, maybe we should want them to stay.
Yeah, because she is pretty inept. They are inept.
Yeah. Then related to Trump and his legal battles, of course, we were railing yesterday against this ridiculous $360 million fine that was awarded as a result of this fraud case, which was not fraud at all. And man, did the conversation about that get heated on the 5 yesterday. So unfortunately, for those of you who have been hoping that Jessica Tarlov is no longer a part of the 5, she absolutely is still there. And she fought with Judge Janine and with Greg Gutfeld so hard about this case. And it was starting to get ugly. And so this is a little bit longer of a clip than we usually play, but I couldn't find a place to cut it because it kept getting more and more heated. And of course, I was like loving it and eating all the popcorn. So had to share them.
How do you think the business community is actually looking at it? She says it's no big deal, but Kevin O'Leary says it's an atrocity.
I'm not sure. I think we'll have to see how it plays out in the appeals court. And that's what everyone is waiting for to see, right? Because the state will have to prove exactly who was the victim in all of this. And I'm assume they've thought about this long enough that they have a good answer for that. But basically, everyone who is defending Donald Trump in this, from Kevin O'Leary to some folks here, is saying it is okay to falsify your business records, issue false financial statements, to commit conspiracy for insurance fraud. When he goes out there,
where's the fraud?
The fraud is, and David Brooks lays this out really nicely. He was on a weekend show. He says you can't have 3 sets of books. You can't have the books for the bankers. So that's Deutsche Bank, who, is happy with all this. Then you have your IRS books. And we know that you're supposed to tell the IRS the truth. And then you have a set of books with the real numbers, I guess, which is what Alan Weisselberg had.
But
Donald Trump continually.
There were 3 sets of books. Where do you get that from? Where do you get that from?
That's part of what Judge had said that he present. Oh, because he's a lunatic, it means it didn't exist.
Yeah, this is
Donald
a judge
Trump,
who decides cases based on emotion.
Okay. I think emotion is hot at the table, and it is not emanating from me. So, since Donald Trump ran the first time, he has been making this argument. If they could do this to me, they could do this to you. Yeah. The average person is not inflating their wealth by $800 million to $2.2 billion. They're not sexually assaulting women. They're not storing classified documents in the toilet. They're not fomenting an insurrection. Mar-a-Lago, you remember the documents?
Let's focus on this case. We can do a lot.
You always do that.
No, Jessica, you're doing a laundry list.
Really? You just
doing
Judge
a laundry
Edgar on
list
this too.
when we're focused on one topic. We're focused on one topic.
Okay.
And yes, it does matter.
Falsifying your business records. Do you do that?
No. I'll tell you what I do, because I'm glad you asked. When you're in a contract negotiation with a company, let's say your contract is up and your company says, we want to renew your contract, and they don't give you a bump in the raise. That's the beginning. And then you come back and you go, you know what? I'm going to ask for the frickin' moon, which I always do. And I know I'm not going to get the moon, but I also know at the end of the day, they're going to see everything. I can say, I want $100 million over the next 6 months. They're going to laugh. But that doesn't mean I broke the law. It means this is what you put down in a negotiation. And as the judge said, it's all transparent. They actually see it. There is no fraud here, which is why you're bringing up other stuff.
No, it's not. I started with that. And then I said, actually, it's a pattern. Well,
I'm sure.
I gotta get Jesse in.
And he's right. He's right. It's why she has to bring in. It's like, did you commit sexual, like assault? She starts bringing in all this other stuff, and it's like, what does that have to do with this? He's absolutely 100% correct. It's such a liberal tactic, right?
I love that fight.
It was very juicy, wasn't it? It was very juicy. But he's right. I mean, and I'm surprised she didn't say, but he's also a racist. I'm surprised she didn't do that, because that would have just been like the cherry on top of a liberal cake, right?
Oh my God. I was just so uncomfortable, but also so comfortable watching that.
I was not uncomfortable at all. I loved every bit of that.
I know, wasn't it such a
She's
joy?
just-
And her
she is awful.
voice.
Oh my
Like,
God.
how is she not destroying her vocal cords
I don't
by
know.
by talking that way?
I don't know. But it's like every day she is like she gives me ear seizures with her voice. I cannot stand it. You guys think RFK is bad. To me, that her voice is worse than listening to RFK.
Well, yeah, he can't help it.
Right.
She actually could just begin to speak like a normal person
This is the thing.
without the fry.
Regardless of whether you can help it or not, he does not bother me as much as she does. So insufferable.
Stuart the Brit, thanks again. Stuart says, just a positive. America went against the biggest power in human history. It is in your soul, and you won, sort of, he said. Thank you, Stuart, for trying to bring some positivity.
We have it in us to do that. Like, again, if we needed to do it, that's the only thing. I'm not trying to bring the house down. I'm not trying to squelch what you just said. I'm just saying, are we that America still? Are we still the same America that we used to be? Yes or no? I'm just putting that out there. Hypothetical. There you go. Just sit with that for a second. Everybody sit with that. I'm not trying to.
Why you got to do that?
I'm just putting it out there. I'm just putting it out. I know. Somebody said 50% of us are. Yes, Laura. I think 50% of us probably are. Yes, you're right.
We just have to make it like 51%. Can we just do that? Can we just do that?
I want a divorce so bad. You have no idea how much I want a divorce.
For real. We have been telling you about making sure to protect your online information, your identity, your private information by going to aura.com/chicks to sign up for your 14-day free trial, where you will immediately upon signing up, they will run all of their little scans and try to figure out what information of yours is on like the dark web and how much of it has been compromised, which is worth its weight in gold right there. And that you get for free instantaneously when you sign up for the 14-day free trial. I just wanted to show you what happens when you go to the website, because Money Magazine, money.com, money, you've heard of Money.
Yes.
They voted Aura the 2023 best identity theft protection for multiple devices because of its higher tier plans that offer comprehensive monitoring, their cybersecurity tools, and then their testimonials are really fantastic. Like this one from Edward, who said he had received a warning from Aura of an unknown person using his name to open up a false credit card account.
Terrifying.
And so they will send you alerts when they see anything happening with your credit, anytime, kind of credit being taken out in your name. So when Tammy and Aura got all the information from me, she called the creditor. The three of us discussed the situation in depth. The fraudulent account was immediately closed, and Tammy helped me become more familiar with even more services offered by Aura. It is so necessary in today's day and age when everything online is so not secure. And so vulnerable to hackers and like bad people. So check it out. Do yourself a favor. At least sign up for the 14-day free trial and see what you think of it. Aura.com/chicks. All right. Remember yesterday we talked about Trump's new golden sneakers, right? The $400, $399 golden sneakers. They sold out immediately, which was so funny. I saw like on some news show, and I don't know who this clown was that was on this liberal show, but it was Caitlin Collins. It was Caitlin Collins' show. And I don't remember the guy that she had on, but she had this guy on and she was like, hey, so these sneakers came out and they sold out right away. She literally said that in her intro. They sold out right away. What do you make of that? And the guy, the idiot guy who was on was like, well, they're never going to sell. What? And I'm like, do you understand words? Like what?
No.
They're sold out already. So
yeah, it's
oh my God.
It's a mental disorder, Mug. It is.
It really is. But what I didn't realize was happening is that guy that we showed the clip of yesterday who bought at the auction, his $9,000 bid was what won the signed Trump sneakers. All these headlines across the internet were raging yesterday about him being a Russian oligarch.
Yeah.
And so he had to come out and release a whole video explaining exactly who he is. I cannot tell you how much you are about to love this guy.
Fantastic.
Bought a pair of sneakers, these sneakers. And apparently they made me a Russian oligarch overnight. Here's how.
Oh my
God.
Guys, I'm a sneakerhead. I'm also a U.S. Army veteran. And yes, I am a Republican. The title of the article read, "A Russian oligarch spends $9,000 on sneakers to support Trump."
Wow.
Sounds sketchy. But I actually came from Ukraine.
Oh, my God.
At the time, it was part of the Soviet Union. I came here at the age of 13 as a refugee, but my dad had $4 in his pocket. I busted my ass working every dirty job under the sun to get where I am today in order to be able to afford to buy these $9,000 pair of collectible sneakers. But I guess the headline of Russian refugee, Ukrainian refugee, or perhaps maybe just a man, that would not get as many clicks as a Russian oligarch. I even saw a tweet from a Ukrainian patriot that said, a Russian shady watch dealer bought $9,000 pair of sneakers as a way to move money to Russia somehow. Of course, I kindly asked the author to check the fact that my own charity raised over $250,000 of aid to Ukraine since that war has started, before putting out accusations of stupid tweets, if you will. God. I wasn't trying to make a political statement by buying these shoes. Of course, the internet blew up. I'm getting comments and messages from on IG from people saying, "Oh, I am no longer following you, or I'm unfollowing you because you're a Trump supporter and I'm no longer doing business with you." It's funny, here I am, maybe I'm silly. I thought that people done business with Luxury Bazaar because we've been in business for 21 years, because of trust, because of personalized customer service that we provide and great pricing. But I guess I was wrong. You know what saddens me the most about this whole situation is that over something as stupid as a pair of sneakers, it showed me so clearly once again on just how divided our country is. With that said, guys, there's not a mean tweet in the world. There's not an IG post. There's not a news article that's going to stop me from being who I am. And that is a patriot of this country, a country that once let in a 13-year-old immigrant and gave me the opportunity to be where I am today. And I'm going to be thankful for that for the rest of my life. You want to hate me for wanting this country to be great again? Go ahead and judge the sneakerhead. But no matter what, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May sound cliche, but that's how I feel. Thank you, and God bless America.
Yeah, God bless him. And he's like, the thing that bothers me the most is that we're so divided. What should bother him the most is that we're divided in part because of a media that lies.
Yeah.
That the media made up, and it's not just one source, but all those sources that he put up there on the screen lied. They had it. They were like, okay, this is the narrative. We're going to run with it. Think of all the times that they lie to us every day, every single day. And that's one of the many, many reasons that we are divided, is because they are a bunch of freaking dirty liars. You cannot believe a word that the media says to you. Not a word.
It's so sad. It's so sad. Michael
Yep.
Steller, thank you. Michael says chicks, the left and the deep state are so desperate that their gaslighting is in plain sight. Yeah.
Yep.
And actually, that is a good point. Several people are saying, I hope he sues.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's
he
like
could.
defamation. It totally,
Exactly.
absolutely. He should totally sue. It's the American way, John.
Yeah.
I would. I don't want to be called a Russian oligarch, especially. I mean, why? Seriously. And they don't get to do that. It should be the same.
Yeah, I'm so glad. It's like, do they not realize he has a voice and that will get shared? I mean,
and have
what
they
the
learned?
hell?
Have they learned nothing from like the whole CNN? What was it? The Covington boy?
Yeah.
Had they learned nothing? You cannot just come out and say a bunch of bullshit and not expect to be sued. Like, this is the thing. They need to be held accountable every time they come out with the narratives that are not true. I hope he sues. I hope he sues every last one of those people that called him a Russian oligarch. Sue him.
Yeah,
Sue him.
I would love that. I would love it. Also, this is an actual positive story about the state of Trump's finances, because of course, now that he's facing these millions and millions of dollars of fines, people have been wondering, well, how's this going to work? Is he going to have to sell a building? Like, how is he going to come up with this money? Apparently, Truth Social could potentially go public, and that would immediately involve a massive payout to him. Here is more on that.
Category. Is there any good financial news for Trump?
Yeah, so very interesting. And Audie, in fact, was the one who pointed this out to me. Trump's Truth Social share worth. So back in 2022, it was about $700 million. Last year, it was less than 100 million. But there's this idea, essentially, that Truth Social will, in fact, be able to go public. And how much would Trump's shares be worth if it does, in fact, go public? It could be upwards of $4 billion. That's billion with a B, not million with an M. Now, of course, keep in mind that Trump can't sell these stocks for another 6 months. But the fact is, we've had all this bad news for Trump. This could be good financial news for Donald Trump.
Well, I mean, there's the karma that we talk about, right?
That's a good point. Maybe
Yeah.
that is a little bit of karma.
Yeah, we always talk about, what comes around goes around, and he's been punched in the nuts a lot lately. And so
Yes.
this $4 billion would help out.
Indeed it would.
With all these rulings where it's like you pay up. It's like, okay, well, and it's an if, right? If they go public. I mean, we don't, they
Right.
going to, we don't know. So if
Yeah,
they go
I have
public,
no idea.
that would be a nice little blessing for him, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Patty Davis was interviewed recently by Kristen Welker about this issue of age, not just Biden's age, but Trump's age, because they are very, very close in age. And because Ronald Reagan at the time, when he was first inaugurated, he was considered to be, he was the oldest person to be inaugurated president at age 69. And think about how spring chicken that sounds compared to what we have now.
Right.
And so she was asked about the age thing. I just thought this was an interesting sort of little side interview, and thought I would share.
Harry Ann, great to see you.
The other big issue that has been in the forefront right now is the issue of age. Your father, when he was elected at the time, was the oldest person elected president at 69.
I know.
Now, obviously, the president is in his 80s. Former President Trump, the front runner, is in his late 70s. Do you think there should be cognitive tests for people running for the highest office in the land?
Probably, yeah. I mean, and just what we know about what age can do, it doesn't always do that, but it would probably be a good idea. Yeah, I know. My father was 77 when he left office after 2 terms. It seems so young now, doesn't it?
Yes. Did it seem at the time old to you? We talked about your dad as being, at the time, the oldest president.
I don't think it did, because it was 87, I believe, when he stood in front of the Berlin Wall and said, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. So that was not someone who was fractured in age. I mean, yes, I probably thought he was old because he's my father, and we think that about our parents, but not in the way that we're talking about now.
I just thought that was so interesting, the comparison, because he was leaving office at
77.
Yeah.
He was 77. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, and then he went on to have Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
And so that's what he eventually died of, is Alzheimer's.
She's looking like her mom.
God, right?
So much in that clip to me.
I miss Reagan. I miss those days.
Yeah.
Right there.
That's right. There he is.
I mean, I know people say mean things about him. I don't care. I miss those days. I just do.
God, those were good times.
Mm-hmm.
Those were good times.
Yeah.
She Picker, thank you so much for that super sticker. Appreciate it. There was a first that happened yesterday in San Francisco, or over the weekend perhaps, and that is that a non-citizen who is ineligible to vote in United States elections was voted to be the elections commissioner in San Francisco. And her name is Kelly Wong. And here is how she gave her acceptance speech.
咁就其實喺2年前我嚟到三藩市嘅時候咧，咁我就認識咗好多原來三藩市有好多嘅
You get the idea.
Yeah. Hong Kong. She's not from here.
She's from Hong Kong, and she's only been here since 2019. Like she just got here, but because San Francisco has the dumbest laws of all time, they don't require citizenship to serve as the elections commissioner.
I mean, why would you require that? Why would you do that, especially in California? Why would you require that? Yeah.
And she's also an immigration activist. So this is going to be fine. I'm sure that this is
great. Good job,
fine.
California. Good job. Fantastic.
That is wrong on so many levels.
Somebody said something wrong. Yeah, there is something wrong with that. It's a lot wrong with that. This is outrageous on every level. Yeah, we're careening off a cliff at this point.
Oh my God. It does feel that way a lot of the time. At the risk of making people mad at me, which happens every day anyway, so I don't know why I would even be worried about that. We're going to play a clip of Jon Stewart's monologue last night where he went after Tucker, and he went after Tucker hard. And to be quite frank with you, Tucker deserved this. And Jon Stewart is absolutely right. So we talked about, listen, we were all for Tucker doing the Putin interview. There's absolutely no reason that a journalist shouldn't be doing interviews with world leaders. Fine. We talked about Tucker showing the differences between United States and Russian subways. Fine. That's fine. But when where Tucker went too far is when he decided to go grocery shopping in a Russian grocery store and tried to make it out as though somehow Russian grocery stores and basically Russia is run in a way that is far better and better for Russian people than American grocery stores or America is for American people. And that's where he crossed the line. It's why we didn't play this on this show, because I was like, ew, Tucker, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? He was absolutely over the top in that. And Jon Stewart, this is just a piece of this monologue, but I think he was absolutely right.
And seeing what things cost and how people live, it will radicalize you against our leaders. That's how I feel anyway. Radicalized.
Radicalized. And it will radicalize you unless you understand basic economics. See, $104 for groceries sounds like a great bargain unless you realize Russians earn less than $200 a week. But that's the kind of context that what did you call yourself earlier? A journalist would have provided. But here's the reality. You know all this because you aren't as dumb as your face would have us believe. Perhaps if your handlers had allowed, you would have seen there is a hidden fee to your cheap groceries and orderly streets. Ask Alexei Navalny or any of his supporters.
In Vladimir Putin's Russia, political repression is everywhere. And hundreds have been arrested for daring to honor Navalny so publicly.
Right. Because the difference between our urinal-caked, chaotic subways and your candelabraed, beautiful subways is the literal price of freedom.
I mean, listen, I hear him. Yeah, that was a beatdown. It was a total beatdown. But the asterisk to that is that we're losing our freedoms every day.
True.
That's the little asterisk, the little daisy asterisk there, is that we are losing our freedoms, John. So, and then there's also the whole notion of the opposition leader thing that we talked about yesterday, which is, Trump is being squelched by Biden. So how does he explain that? Is he going to talk about that? And that's happening here. And we're already sort of going on that slope of the Democrats talk all the time about democracy. Well, they're shitting on it. Like every day they're shitting on it. We see them doing that every single day. So I hear him. That was a bit of a smackdown. I do. I don't want to be like Russia. So maybe the Democrats should stop making us be like Russia.
Yeah. And actually, I would love to see Jon Stewart and Tucker Carlson in a debate.
Right.
There would be nothing more awesome than to watch those two go at it, because I think I think they would find common ground, but there's also, they just do disagree on some things. But I would also love Tucker to go after Jon for not mentioning in that monologue how far left and how far commie this administration is taking us.
Right.
And so he's focusing all of his ire on Tucker, and Tucker's getting a lot of heat for some of that stuff, and probably rightly so, because he was here and that was fine, but then he just like jumped the shark and went completely pro-Russia crazy.
It's easy to say that we have a lot of freedoms when you're a liberal in this country.
Yeah.
It's easy to say that. When you're a conservative, you live a different kind of life. It's different.
Yeah.
You have the FBI knocking on your door when you're a Catholic. When you're a mom or a dad at a school board meeting and you're a conservative, you're being watched. There's a lot of things that are happening to you when you're conservative, and Jon Stewart's not living that life. So
No,
when it
he's
comes
not.
to talking about freedom, it's like a lot of freedoms that, he takes for granted. Well, he's a liberal. He lives a different freaking life than a conservative in this country. So, he may want to step off or take a different perspective. And perhaps somebody who is a conservative, they want to sit down with him and talk to him about what it's like to live as a conservative in this country. Because freedom, freedom isn't free. We all get that. But freedom is not what it used to be in this country. And it is like disappearing every day as we see it. We talk about that all the time on this show. So, I mean, listen, I don't, like I said, I don't want to be like Russia. I don't.
Yeah.
But
well, and that, I think Tucker would have been fine if he would have done all the things that he did, but then also actually stepped out of the bubble that he was being held in very tightly by his hosts in Russia, who wanted him to have the prettiest possible picture. They didn't take him to go around watching all of those people who were simply mourning the death of Navalny be hauled off to jail. Yeah. So, I mean, there could have been some balance, and it was a missed opportunity. And that's all I think that
it's like,
I wanted to point out.
It's like going and visiting North Korea and not seeing the concentration camps there.
Exactly. It's like going to visit Pyongyang and hanging out as what's his name did, Dennis Rodman, seeing a basketball game in North Korea and thinking North Korea is great.
This is a great place. It's like, meanwhile, the people are eating grass as a vegetable.
Right.
It's like you get a totally skewed vision of what it actually is like. So
yeah. She Picker, thank you so much. She says, crap, I'm just getting the hang of super chats. I met with Mindy 3 hours at DNC's. Highly recommend. Loving her and Leanne. Fun and knowledgeable. Our peeps.
Debits and credits.
Well, it's Mindy with an I, so I don't think it's our debits and credits girl.
Well, she said
maybe it could be.
Maybe you just spelled Mindy wrong. DNCs. Yeah. I think it's probably Mindy.
All right. For some reason, I was like, okay. Yes, that probably is Mindy. Okay, yay. Yay. I love it when our insiders get together. That's awesome. That is awesome. I see somebody saying, I'm not going to bash Tucker Carlson, and I'm not asking you
that's
to.
okay.
And I'm not bashing him either. I'm simply saying that what Jon Stewart said was correct in that case. And that is okay. If you're not able to criticize your own side, you're in a cult, and you need to realize that, because otherwise you're just not thinking clearly. If you never, ever, ever find fault with your own side, you're the problem.
I'm not bashing anybody. I'm just thinking critically. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah, that's all. And so if you're saying I'm not going to bash somebody ever, then
I love Tucker. I think Tucker's awesome.
I love him too.
I'm just thinking critically. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah, and I think everybody should do that. Somebody asked earlier, what's the reason for my name being Kimber Mock Guilfoyle? I'm about to show you. This is going to be a test for our gentlemen and gay women in the audience. I want you to watch this video and then tell me what she said.
Yes, we'll do a quiz at the end.
A quiz at the end is coming.
Right. An exciting show. He's back, one of your all-time favorites, the founder of Revolver News, top investigative reporter Darren Beattie joins us to talk about the deep state, what they're up to right now, Merrick Garland, all of the above, and how they want to control this country and take the election in 2024. You don't want to miss it. 4 p.m. Tune in.
Did anybody can you report back and tell us what she actually said? Actually, no, everybody's like, boobs. Oh my God, boobs. It's like she was about to pull a Janet Jackson there. It was about ready to. It was like I would like to come out and visit and say hello to everybody. I would like to get to know you better. I would like to get to know you better. This one particular boob would like to come out.
What?
That it wanted to come out, did it not? It wanted to.
This is. I don't
listen. There's appropriate cleavage, and then there's inappropriate cleavage. You know, I'm just saying. I don't have it, so it's. So maybe that's why. I mean, I can say that. I guess I've never had anything that would come out like that. So I'm on the A team. So I don't know.
Listen, I feel. I mean, I'm on. I have some, not a lot, but I have a little bit. And I just cannot dream of, doing a teaser for our show, for example. And our show is not quite as serious as hers is.
You should totally do that.
But if I was going to do a trailer for our show and and the show was planned to be on a serious topic.
Yes.
I would never do this. Like I would never say, look at it. I'm just going to sit here and have all of this out here and
sit on the table.
Why?
I'm going to put it on the table, and then I want you to do that. I want you to do that so hard just to see, because you know what? We'd probably get more clicks and likes. And more subscriptions.
Maybe that's why her show is so successful.
That's what it is. That's what it is. That's why we're not so popular on YouTube, is because you're not showing your boobs. Come on, Mock. Take one for the team.
I'm on
the 18.
Okay.
I have nothing to show, but you, I'm very disappointed in you.
Do you guys remember, if you were watching yesterday's show and you caught our talks at the end, I showed you this fellow that I'm going to soon be not neighbors directly, but like within the same 5-mile radius of this fellow who has quite a following on TikTok. He goes by Captain Blue Eyes. And I showed a couple videos of him yesterday to you all. He dresses just in Speedos and he boats, and then he likes to dance, and he also likes to do karaoke. And we showed one of his karaoke videos yesterday. He's apparently, Twitter has found him, and someone has put Jill Biden's face.
So perfect. It's so perfect, you guys.
Amazing AI,
right now,
you guys.
Merrick Garland.
Amazing AI.
Good job in your city.
Oh my God. It's so perfect. This is where AI is so great. Keep on burning. Yeah, sing it, everybody.
Look at his little Mexico.
It's perfect. I cannot. That's just the greatest. Brian's like, my eyes, bleach them. Oh my God. Jason said, I don't see any difference. I don't see any difference at all. Right on, Jason.
But that was some pretty good AI. You have to admit,
fantastic.
like that was kind of amazing.
It's
really
terrifyingly amazing, is what it is.
All right, it is. Wait, have I thanked everybody? Have I said all the things? No, I have not. Wait, did I? Michael Steller. He says, my concern is how many illegal aliens are going to be allowed to vote in the Democratic-controlled cities that are in the swing states. Yeah, it's a great question.
A lot. And that's why everybody needs to grab 15 people to go vote with them.
Yep.
In this election.
For sure.
Because all the illegals, all of them are going to be voting.
Seth McMillan, thank you so much. Seth says, I am blind and even saw Boobzilla.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That's so great.
Oh my gosh. All right. It is time for your double D's.
Okay. So usually, there's always something on your timeline or in your social feed where some dude is doing this elaborate proposal, like, oh, marry me. And here's a, skywriting and all this stuff, or he's just doing something super elaborate for the gram, because this is what kids are doing nowadays. My husband proposed to me in a car. But I really wish he would have done it in this way, because I think, and I usually am not about like the big proposals, but I think I'm mad that Greg didn't propose to me like this, because this would have been perfect for us.
Now look, it takes a real man. Look, baby, it takes a real man to make Waffle House romantic.
Yes.
And I just have one question. Will you marry me?
Beef jerky.
I mean, I just love it. I love
She got me beef jerky, Kayla.
You did.
What'd you say?
I will marry.
Okay.
Aren't they the cutest?
Yes. Oh, it's
The waffle
beautiful. The waffle ring. Oh, baby, it's gorgeous. You got me all verklempt.
They're so cute. I just love them. Isn't that the sweetest? He's like a fisherman.
So cute.
He had the hydrangeas there on the table. It must have been during Valentine's Day. I'm assuming.
Yeah,
they had
she was wearing a Amour
her little
sweatshirt.
her little Valentine's Day Waffle House. I love Waffle House, you guys. Wahoo is awesome. Waffle House is the best. Anyways, I thought that was really sweet. I'm usually not one for an elaborate proposal, but I thought that was a sweet, sweet proposal, and I wanted to share with you guys.
That was so cute. Stick around after talks, because we are going to get into a discussion about kids and makeup and Hilaria Baldwin.
Hilaria. She's Spanish, in case you guys didn't know. Ilaria.
She likes to think that she is Spanish. So do not miss that. That's going to come after talks, which we're going to get to right now, as soon as I remind everybody to make sure that they are visiting mypillow.com/chicks to save on all things MyPillow, especially towels. If you still haven't tried their towels,
what are you waiting for?
I don't even know. I do not even know what is wrong with you. You're missing out on the best towels in the world.
They're so good.
And they're on super, super sale right now when
Very
you use code
thirsty.
CHICKS. They're super thirsty.
Very thirsty.
mypillow.com/chicks. So I'm going to show you a video. You're about to see, I don't even know what this woman is doing. It doesn't matter. What you need to pay attention to is the fact that she uses the acronym FTM for first time mom. Okay.
All right.
And so she's holding like some sort of breast milk, I guess, contraption. And she's like realizing something as a first time mom. It doesn't matter what she's doing. You don't need to worry about that. Watch the reaction to her video that you will see almost immediately because it is ridiculous. Whoops. Why are you not playing? Play.
Can y'all be for real? If LGBTQ folks suddenly started using SAHM to refer to some kind of queer experience, y'all would lose your collective shit. Do not tell me that y'all do not know that F to M exists in queer culture. Yes, certainly there are acronyms that can count for different things, but F to M has been around far too long and means something very specific. It reminds me of that like Facebook text post filter that is for sure a trans flag, but because it's just subdued enough, I think cishets think that it's supposed to be the American because it's reddish and bluish. And then it also reminds me of that trend recently where folks were like, I'm on prep, and they were talking about meal prepping. Like, y'all have to know that our language exists. Stop stealing it.
What is she saying? I don't know about your language. And so you need to calm down. I don't understand. What does that mean? What is
FTM?
What is FM in
does
queer
not
language?
I mean in normal people world, it's first time mom, or it could be any number of things. Who knows what people use it for? It doesn't matter. You can use letters however you want to use them. But in queer language, it stands for female to male. So that's, there's MTF and FTM, and it's male to female or female to male.
Go be outraged someplace else. It's like, I feel like everybody just needs to be outraged about something all the time, every day. I'm so sick of outrage culture, It's like, shut up. Nobody cares.
It's hilarious that she's saying that when the entire word gay was completely lifted by that community and changed forever. Or queer, for that matter.
Or the rainbow.
They have changed those definitions, and the rainbow.
They hijacked the rainbow. My kid used to love it, and now she can't put it on anything.
Exactly, without people assuming something about her.
Right, exactly. And she's not. So it's like, that kind of sucks for everybody who loved the rainbow at one time. Yeah.
I mean, I could not believe the pretentiousness and the arrogance of this woman, that she's going to tell us that we should all know the queer language. We don't care.
No, nobody cares.
Oh my God. I hesitated before showing this, but I'm going to show it anyway, because this was absolutely viral yesterday. I think this woman has some form of dementia. Okay. And so that's sad. That's really, really sad. But it's also sad that she's able to just go out and about and be sort of abusive to people in this way that you're about to see without anybody watching out for her. So here's this woman who approaches a neighbor about his cat.
Give me the cat. Give it to me. I want to see your kitty again.
Oh, she's kind of shy right now.
I want to see her anyway. Can't you bring her out here so I can pet her anyway?
Is nobody watching this woman?
That's the thing.
Did you see the comment? Put her in Congress.
Yeah. Yeah, I think she's good inside right now.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Hey, I'm John. I don't know. What's your name?
There she is.
Yeah.
That's my kitty. Can I take her home and love on her for a while?
Oh my God.
I'd rather not.
Come
I'm
on.
pretty.
Please. I don't have a
I know. but
Why is nobody watching her?
I live right around the corner from you. You can come get her.
Yeah, but you were saying stuff about cats being a sign of death, and that kind of freaked me out. So,
I'm not afraid of it anymore.
well,
And why is there trash in
like
that yard?
I've had a couple of cats and I haven't died yet. So
Okay.
I don't.
if you just let me hold her,
I
I'll take her in and hold her and make her warm again, and then I can bring her back to you.
Okay,
She gets
I'm
hostile.
not gonna let that happen.
they need to give her a fake kitty. Remember we had the fake kitty? Remember?
Yes.
You know,
You're not. You're not being a good neighbor at all.
how's that?
Because you won't let me take your cat in.
Oh my gosh.
I don't
Just
have
give her
a
the fake.
cat.
Well, that's your problem. That's not mine.
No, it's not my problem. It's your problem because you won't let me have the cat.
Look, lady, I can't deal with this. You gotta call your son and
I
have him
have.
deal. Is he
I have,
coming?
and he's coming to get you.
Is he? Okay.
So you better lock your door tight.
Really? Okay.
He's coming to get you. You're under arrest.
Really?
God bless
What am I
her.
doing?
Holding a cat. Scaring me with him.
God bless her. Yeah.
It's
That
just
it is really sad.
God.
Like, remember we had that fake cat? We had to have a pet for our office when we were in radio.
yes.
And so Mock and I were like, okay, what are we going to get? We can't have like a live animal in here and if we have like a hamster, somebody's going to have to, it's going to end up dying, so let's not get a live animal. So we got this fake cat and it was very lifelike, you guys. Like
yeah, it would meow and it would roll over. Like if you
yeah,
it a certain way.
it was weirdly lifelike. And so we had, I don't even, what happened to that? What did we do with
I
it?
think we left her
give
with
it away?
Terry.
We left her with Terry. Okay. We left her with one of the ladies in the radio, but we'd come in, you pet it, it purr and like it'd meow and all the things. That's what they need to give to this woman. It's kind of
Yeah.
like a baby doll for the old ladies who have dementia, the baby dolls that are very lifelike. Like you talked about the
reborns.
Yeah. The reborns, kind of like those. That's what they need to give to this woman is a cat, an almost real cat, but not real because wouldn't trust her with a real cat.
No. But she got really, really angry. And I just thought, how is she alone? You know what I mean? Like, how is she
It's
just
not
out
okay.
and about alone?
Right.
Oh my God. So anyway, that was going massively viral yesterday. To lighten things up, there's a couple that I follow on TikTok. So funny. And they're a hilarious couple together. And there's a trend going around TikTok where women set up their little cameras and they tell their husbands, listen, I'm going to test you right now. And here's what you're going to do. I'm going to pretend to be a strange woman approaching you at a bar. You do what you would do if that actually happened in real life.
Gosh.
Okay.
Oh,
and
God.
so some of it's great. Like there was one guy who took a glass of water and threw it in his wife's face. So of course he passed the test, but also made her mad because he got water all up in her face. But this one was fantastic.
Ian and I are going to be participating in the trend, what you would do if a woman approached you. Okay? Hi.
Hi.
Why are you letting her touch you?
I didn't do anything.
Why is she touching you and you just standing like a big idiot? Ian, don't play games with me. Play hopscotch with the devil. Don't play games with me.
Okay.
Because there's other games we could play. We could play you had to lose one, you could choose. Number 1 being oxygen, the good stuff. Number 2 being the ability to chew your own food. Because I'll spoon feed you for the rest of your life. I don't mind. Number 3 being the use of your legs. You ever seen the movie Misery, Ian? Let's try this again. Hi.
Hi.
Why is she touching you?
Ask her.
I swear to God, Ian. I won't break your bones. I will surgically remove them.
God, she is psycho.
I'll put them up on the wall. Put lights shining on them. House of a Thousand Corpses in this bitch. Try it again. I swear to God, Ian, get it right. Get it right. I'll take your bones. You will be craft magic up in this bitch.
Oh, hey, my wife is crazy. I think she can murder.
I like that.
That was good.
That was good.
Okay.
My wife is psychotic. Was his mustache real?
Yeah, I mean
that
that's in the name of their site is like somebody in the mustache or whatever.
Oh my God, his mustache! I couldn't.
my God,
I
I
couldn't
love
look
him.
away. That was remarkable. That stash.
Oh my God. And then we also need one dog video before we get into our discussion about Ilaria.
Oh no, it's a dog.
It's a dog that sits on command very, very well, but also sits to absolutely whatever command.
Sit. Sunshine. Crocodile. Rainbow. Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
And salsa. Skyline chili. Chupacabra. Bret.
He sits to everything, you guys. Absolutely everything.
I mean, that's awesome. It is the tone. It's totally the
Oh
tone.
my God.
Mhm.
I
I
love
can't
it so
get
much.
I can't get any of my dogs to sit. None of them.
All right. So we need to talk about the
Ilaria.
Ilaria story. She loves inviting controversy. Just
She likes
inexplicably.
attention. Mhm.
She likes attention. So she posted a photo on Instagram that caught a lot of people's attention. And by the way, this is Alec Baldwin's wife. If that name is unfamiliar to you, this is Ilaria Baldwin.
Ilaria. She's the one that pretended to be Spanish forever, and then people were like, "You're from Boston. You're not.
You
Spanish.
visited Spain like twice. In
you
your
went.
life.
You went there when you were in college for like 3 months, and you're not at all Spanish." Right.
She's also known for such things as giving birth to like 7 million children
Yeah.
and doing yoga all the
Yeah.
time. So
Yeah.
those are the things that she's known for. But she posted this photo of herself with her 10-year-old daughter, Carmen.
Who I'm
who-
assuming she's going to grow up and be like, "Mi nombre es Carmen." That's what she's going to do because she's learned from her mother. Obviously, she's learning a lot from her mother.
She's learning a lot from her mother.
Mhm.
So apparently this caught a lot of people off guard because they were like, whoa, she's 10 and she's making like sexy times face and with a
Right.
full face of makeup. What are we doing here?
Yeah, I don't like it.
I also don't like it.
I don't like it. I see this a lot. Listen, I have friends on Facebook, friends from high school and stuff who have little girls who they do this. They put them in, dresses that are inappropriate. They put them like clothes that are inappropriate and makeup. Thankfully, listen, I'm glad that my daughter she wasn't interested in the makeup thing. She's 14. And she's still not really, I mean, she has makeup. And I never said, you can't wear makeup until you're 15 years old. Like I never did that with her because she's, first of all, she's a swimmer. So she's always in the pool. And then second of all, she just is not like I wear a ton of makeup to school. Like every once in a while, she'll want to put a little bit of makeup on, but the extent of her makeup is like lip gloss and
Is it
a little-
Bonnie Bell?
and a, yes, it is like that. And a little
Does
bit
she
of
use Jean Nate body splash?
No, but I mean, like this. God, I wish she did. I wish.
I
The
loved that
smell
stuff.
of that will take me back. But this is
Right?
the thing: is that she'll, she's 14 years old, and like she loves makeup. Like she loves looking at it, and like she loves, we'll go together and like go into CVS, and she'll like look at all the makeup, and we both love looking at it. But she's not really wanting to wear it a ton. But she will, like, she'll put on mascara and stuff every once in a while. But like I saw one of the comments with a woman on here who was defending Ilaria, and she was saying this is a way that mothers and daughters bond. This is
Can
how
you
they
just bond like at home then and not take her out on the town?
Right. Or not take sexy times pictures of her and put it out on
Right.
social media for men to see because, the world is crawling with perverted weirdos. Who are going to look at that picture of her, giving like a seductive face. And what do you think they're going to do with that?
Yeah.
I mean, this is the thing. Maybe it's because I've scared my daughter and I'm like, listen, if you're ever on social media, there's going to be 40-year-old dudes who are going to try to like kidnap you from mommy and daddy. You know what I mean? And so you need to make sure that you are very careful about the imagery you put out there and I have probably scared her from birth when it comes to this kind of stuff. But like, I just, I don't know. Little girls need to be little girls. They don't need to be women.
And I'm like, I go overboard on this issue, and I know it'll piss people off, but I do this every day again. So pissing people off is not something I'm terribly worried about. But I get uncomfortable seeing the itty bitty cheerleaders with.
I don't
full
like it
makeup.
either. I don't
or
like it
the
either.
little pageant girls. All of that is to me so hyper sexualizing kids, and it's gross to me. I don't see why it's necessary.
It's like
why?
It's very Jean Benet. Remember the Jean Benet? I think of like the imagery of with the makeup and the hair, and that I don't like it either. I'm not a big fan of that stuff either. It's too soon. Little girls need. I was a little girl and I was very tomboyish, and I didn't do any of that stuff until I was like older, and I feel the same way about our daughters. And there's a time and a place for that. And so many girls now are so hypersexualized at such a young age. And especially with social media, it's like these moms want to put their daughters out and make them like them. You know what I mean? And they need to be little girls. Let them be little girls. Let them be kids.
I've heard all the excuses, especially like from the cheering people who are like, well, it's because of the lights and they need to have their faces. No, you don't. I'm sorry, but that's not a reason. Like you can still actually be on stage. And if everyone is forbidden from wearing makeup at those really little ages, I'm not talking if you're in middle school and high school, whatever, knock yourself out. But I'm talking elementary school girls do not need to have piles and piles of makeup on. That's just weird.
I don't like it either.
Weird.
Not a fan. Not a fan.
So,
and and they make them do that. But it's like, what if they all said, we're not going to do this?
Right.
Like
all it takes
agreed.
is just somebody making the decision at a high level. This is no longer required. In fact, we discourage it. Let's stop because creepsters are now looking at all these girls in ways that they shouldn't be looking at them.
Totally.
Ilaria responded to the backlash and released a video of herself with Carmen, ostensibly going out to wherever it was they were going to go out. And so here is what she said about why her daughter's in all of the makeup. And it should have sound. There we go.
It's the day you and Dad have met. Yes, it's our meeting anniversary, but thank you so much for all the birthday wishes. It's almost your half birthday, so we will use them for that. And every single day is a celebration of life, correct? Yeah. And I've always let her play with makeup. She had my makeup tonight. I remember when you were like maybe 3, I had just received a line of lipstick. I think it was Katy Perry lipstick, and one of them was bright blue. And she wanted to paint her face bright blue, the whole face blue. He looked like a little Smurf, and it was super cute. And I was like, go for it. It's art. And now you've gotten so much better at it because we're going out, and I don't look like a Smurf. I love you. I love you guys. Bye.
And you can do that, but do you have to put it on social media? You know what I mean? You can.
And you have to take her out. Like do it at home.
Right.
Get all dolled up at home. But
right. If you feel like you want to make that like some sort of an art form with your kid, that's fine. Okay, whatever, to each their own. But do you have to put that out there for the masses? Because I wouldn't do that, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, Gwen was just never really interested that early in makeup. But if she was like, I really want to be a makeup artist one day and I'm 7, you know, and I want to do makeup. Okay, that's cool. I'm just not going to prance you around on social media and show people what you look like and trying to emulate a 21-year-old woman.
Right.
Not going to do that. Yeah. So
well, and then our team sent us a couple of hilarious pictures that relate to this, which are so spot on because when I think back to me being 10, oh my God, I was not at my prime. I'll just put it that way.
I was a total tomboy dork.
Coke bottle glasses, stringy hair. Just, I mean, I was a mess, you guys. And now kids get old so much quicker than we did it. Like when we were growing up, we had like what are they called with the guard? Like
retainers.
The
retainers.
And the guards, like the whatever those, like the wire things that you saw in what was the 16 candles.
And even in middle school, it's like I always joke, these middle school girls are so pretty. We went through the blue eyeshadow phase. Nobody ever goes through the phases anymore.
That's exactly my point. This is a perfect demonstration of that.
Totally.
Like 13-year-olds now compared to when we were 13.
It's so true. It's so true.
A whole other level of look. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's like this. This is so accurate.
It's so true.
It's so accurate.
Yep. It is. It is.
Anyway, Ilaria needs to calm down on the makeup with her daughter.
Yeah, she's 10.
And I'm dying on that hill.
I'm dying. Me too. I'm right there. I'm right there, and I'm staking my flag there because I'm right there with you.
Shaking all the rakes.
Let kids be kids, man. Just let kids be kids.
They're going to grow up faster than you want, so why rush it?
Especially in this world. This world is cray. Let these
so
kids
cray.
just be kids. I know. And somebody said girls at 20 in their 20s getting Botox. Yeah, I know.
I cannot.
That's a whole other
That's
thing.
a whole other thing.
Oh my God. It's insane.
That is a whole other thing.
It totally is. All right.
Anyway.
You guys bring it in. Bring it in. We're bringing it in. You guys already saw the dog, so I'm not going to get them in here because they were in here for literally 75% of the show. So,
but they were very unobtrusive. They were.
I mean, they were okay.
I was
They were
almost
all right.
able to show because I just heard, like, while we were having that discussion on Ilaria, Ella dog was starting to do that sound where she was like, you know what I mean? Like where she's
having a
gonna
dream.
throw
She's having a
up.
good dream.
No, not the good sound.
Oh,
like
she
the
was-
sound where she's trying to hork up something.
She was trying to barf.
Yeah, but
Oh.
like now I can show you
Is
that
she-
she looks fine.
She's very sweet now. Now she's okay. Look at her little butt. She's got
There,
a sweet
can you
little.
see her
Look at her
now?
little fluffy butt.
There's
We
her
can.
little-
She's wagging.
I'm trying to show her face, but
She's such a good. She's like, I don't want to show my face,
Ella,
Mom.
can you stand
Oh,
up?
we see your eyes. We
Oh,
see your
here's
eyes.
Maisie.
There's Maisie. Maisie.
There's Maisie.
Her expressionless face. See how expressionless she is, you guys.
Well,
Look at
and
her.
Maisie always comes if she hears me talking to Ella, she runs in because she's like, I understand that dogs have been
Look at her.
talked to.
Zero
I need to
emotion
be-
in that dog. She's zero. Like there's no emotion on her face whatsoever. She's just like just blank. I love that
She's
dog.
always so blank.
She
just
has
does
resting
not
Maisie
have an
face.
expression.
Yeah, the best dog ever. Okay, you guys have a wonderful Tuesday, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.